Hey guys, welcome back to another Wicked Wednesdays. Today I just thought I'd do a little review video for you guys. Because I know when you are starting out as a special effects artist, just as a hobby, whatever it is you are wanting products for, it is really hard to justify spending a lot of money on products when you don't know whether or not they're actually worth the money or not. So I just thought I'd give you a little review on my two alcohol activated palettes, as they are probably the priciest makeup products that I do own. I will just be going through which one I think is better, what the purposes of both of them are, and stuff like that, and just giving you a little couple of swatch tests and stuff like that. So when I bought these, I bought this one first. I probably bought this one about 6 months before I bought the other one. I did want to get the Illustrator skin colored palette to begin with, but my local makeup store is kind of phasing them out and bringing in the European Body Art lot. So this is the skin colored palette from European Body Arts. I do believe that this cost me, I think, $115, which is quite pricey, but I did need to get my hands on an alcohol activated palette just because colouring in with foundation does not work for some certain things. I did find it quite hard to start with this. The pigments in this can be almost quite chalky, which it is good if you are wanting to cover up tattoos or freckles or marks of some kind. This is the palette for you. It just can be, if not applied correctly, it can look quite caked on and almost fake. Now this is the Skin Illustrator Onset FX palette, so it is just kind of little samples of all of the above, and I got this from Scotty's Makeup for $85, I think was the going price. And I do have to say I absolutely love it. The colours in this are incredible. I mean, I would like to have some skin colours to test against the other skin colour palette, so I am going with two different colours here. But when using them, you can kind of see the difference. These are more kind of clear and you layer them up to build up the colours, whereas the European Body Art one, you kind of just put a couple of layers on and it's fine, and you get that set one colour. Which these work really well if you are wanting to give that base undertone, so it's not just like a white face, you have a little bit of pink rosiness under the skin, or if you are wanting to colour in some cuts, which I will leave a photo here of my latest work with Scar Wax, which I did use this to colour in with. So if you would like to see a tutorial on how that is done, give this video a thumbs up, guys, and I will get around to doing it for you. So I will just take you down and I will show you a couple of swatch tests of both of the products, the European Body Art palette and of course the Skin Illustrator palette. I will just be showing you the benefits of both of them. Okay, so there you can see the lightest one being down here, which is quite close to my like the colour of my underarm, and then slowly going up, coming into the darkest skin colour here, which this is the olive adjuster and I believe the kind of rose adjuster, which if you do apply these in thin washes, it is kind of a much nicer outcome. I just did darker swatches for you so you could see them, so you can't, like if you do them in nice little light washes, they are a much gentler colour. This was just for the purpose of showing you guys, but as you can see with the alcohol activated palettes, you cannot rub them off. They need to be washed off with alcohol or some other remover, but I find just with the alcohol that you use to put them on, if you just put it on just a little cotton pad and wipe it off, it does work fine. So I do find these quite handy. I would think the purpose of these would be a little bit better if you were needing to put down, say, a base colour. Say the colour, if you did have an actual prosthetic, was not correct and you did need to get it a skin colour straight away. Putting down a base of one of these and then washes of a lighter colour over would probably work, but I do not really work with that. I like to colour the gelatin before I actually put it into the mould, just with a little bit of alcohol. A bit more, just once over. And there you go, that is off straight away, and as you can see, there is a fair bit of pigment on there. So there is the Skin Illustrated Alcohol Activated Palette Colours. That is the blood tone, the aged blood, the bruised tone, the ultra blue, the black, the prime red, the burnt orange, the yellow, the green and the white. So as you can see, they are more kind of clear colours. There's like It's more of a lighter wash. It's a lot easier, like you have to build up the layers a lot more with these than you do with the European body art colours, which does have its pluses and its minuses. If you do want a really bright colour, you do have to apply several coats. I'll just move it closer for you. The best way to kind of describe it is these are more like watercolour style, and the other ones are kind of thicker acrylic paints. Just the way that they are applied, and these are the same of course. Rubbing them makes no difference at all. Once they are on your skin, they are on your skin for good, unless of course you wash them off with some alcohol. So overall, if you are starting out, I probably nearly would recommend the Skin Illustrator style ones, just because I find that they are a lot easier to work with and a lot easier to apply, whereas the European body art one of course is more for cover-ups, and of course if you do have two different matching skin tones, this is probably a better one for you. Of course I haven't tried the skin colours with the Skin Illustrator yet, so I can't speak for that as such. So I mean, if you can like test these out before you buy them, at Scotty's Makeup they do have a tester of this sitting in a little display that you are welcome to use. So I would recommend before you buy anything with such like high price tags, always give it a test out, or if you know somebody else that has one, just ask if they can give you some advice on it. And although I do not regret buying this, I feel like it would have been easier for me if I did have my hands on a Skin Illustrator one before I started kind of going straight to this. I just feel like this is a lot easier to work with and does have kind of a nicer application. I think that would be the words to describe it. But if you are tossing up between the two of them, I would have to go with the Skin Illustrator. Of course, as well, I forgot to mention, you can take out the little palette refills, I don't know what you call them. So if you do run out of a certain colour, you can of course just go ahead and buy a new one and put it straight into there without having to buy a whole nother palette, which is a really good idea. I do hope that one day that Skin Illustrator does start getting us sold like that, so if you do just need one colour, you do not have to go ahead and spend $85 on the little palette. You can spend like the European body art, which is I believe $15 for a little thing, which isn't too bad, which is much nicer than having to spend a massive amount all at once, especially if you did want to start off with just some skin colours. You could of course just buy the individual little refills instead of buying a whole palette all at once, which does make it a lot easier, which my thing is broken. If I wanted to, I could just buy an empty palette and fill them up myself, which of course will be more costly in the long run. But all in all for this video guys, I do think both of these palettes have their purposes, and one are better than others for the purposes that you use them for. Of course, creating deep tones in a wound, like with scar wax or anything, I do think the Skin Illustrator is better for that. If you are wanting cover-ups or to hide blemishes, I would recommend European body art. But I hope that you guys have got something out of this little review today. But if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!